Hey guys, Coach Nate here from Fleet Feet. You know, I've yet to meet the runner who couldn't benefit from a little extra work on glute strength and hip stability, and that's exactly what we're gonna do with this guided workout. It's gonna take about 10 minutes. I'm gonna take you through 3 exercises. We're gonna do each one for about 30 seconds. We're gonna rest. I'm gonna take you through the skill progression of it so you can have a really good time. Let's dive in. So remember, with these guided workouts, you can press pause at any time to give yourself a little bit of a break. You could do a little bit less, you could do a little bit more. For this workout, you don't need any equipment. All you need is a little space or a mat on the ground. We're gonna get started here with our first exercise, and it's going to be a glute bridge march. So we're gonna go for 30 seconds. I'm gonna lay down here on my back, starting in 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna press my hips up, and I'm gonna alternate, lifting one knee and then the other. And this is gonna be this march position. And as I do this, there's a few things I wanna think about. Number one, I could press my hands into the ground, squeeze my shoulder blades together to give myself a little more stability through the spine. I wanna make sure that my hips don't drop every time, so I really wanna push those hips up. And then I wanna make sure as I shift that my hips don't rotate this way. As I go through, that's 30 seconds. A lot of great hamstring and glutes on this. Our next exercise, we're gonna get into a plank position, and we're gonna alternate single leg taps. And every time we lift a leg off the ground or one limb off the ground, the other 3 have to work a little harder, which is kind of the point. So in 5 seconds, you can do this from the elbow or the hand or the wrist. I always like to do from the hand. So starting here, I'm gonna alternate lifting here. And what I love about this lift is that midline has to stabilize, those hips have to stabilize a little bit more. My hamstrings and glutes have to fire just a little bit more just to lift this leg, making sure that my back doesn't arch or anything excessive. Whew. Breathe in. 3, 2, 1, and rest. And then our third exercise, we're gonna work 30 seconds of a single leg deadlift on the left leg, immediately into 30 seconds of a single leg deadlift on the right. This is such a great exercise to develop a little bit of balance and really benefit those hamstrings and glutes and get those things firing. So in 5 seconds, I'm gonna start on my left leg, 2, 1. What I'm gonna work on is really hinging a slightly soft knee, but notice I'm not letting this knee go forward. So notice this isn't a squat. My back is nice and straight as I go through. Notice I'm not rounding or reaching over. I'm really hinging. If I'm feeling this right, a lot of hamstring and glute. And the reason why I like to do this movement for time is so that you can focus on the quality of reps and not rushing through a bunch. Immediately flowing into the next one, I'm just flipping different directions so you can see. Breathing, finding that balance. And hey, if you're squirming around a little bit, that's okay. That's your body's fighting for balance and stability. All these little stabilizer muscles, balancer muscles are waking up, which for a lot of us is so important for better, smoother running. 2, 1, whew, and rest. Then we're gonna go back onto the ground, and we're gonna get started for our second round of movement. Our glute bridge march, and then we're gonna go into our single leg planks and so on. Give myself a little rest here, 10 seconds, coming down. And as I like to do with these planks, I like to get my heels right underneath, right close to my butt. 2, 1, I'm gonna lift on up. And then again, rotate, lifting one knee and then the other. Making sure those hips don't drop. If you want a little additional challenge, you could bring your arms up overhead. You lose a little bit of that stabilizing force. Whew. If that gets a little bit harder, remember you could bring these arms back down here for a little bit of stability. If that low back is in pain, tighten those abs a little bit more and drop your hips. and rest. Whew. Nice job. Getting ourselves ready for our plank. And as I said, hey, if you did a plank on your elbow, try going from your wrist. I really like giving my runners opportunities to load their wrists, and extension is sort of the opposite position we are all day, where our hands are folded over a keyboard or on a phone or a steering wheel. No carpal tunnel for you, that's what I like to say. So we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, get into our plank, and again, we're just gonna alternate. Breathing, notice that your hips may wanna come up high, so try to keep those hips nice and low. Just lifting the back leg up. Doesn't have to be super high. Could just be an inch or two, halfway, you're doing great. Breathing. Five seconds. And rest. Whew, I'm saying this as much for me as for you guys. Okay, jumping back up on our feet. Finding our mojo with our single leg deadlift. Remember, don't rush this one. Be patient with it. We want to make sure that we're nice and balanced and in a good position. Really hinging at that hip position, just like I would with a regular deadlift with a nice straight back. 3, 2, 1, hinging over. I like to get my palms just past my knee if I can. And then, if that feels good, what I can start to do is get my palms past my knee without reaching. Then I can start to drop an inch or two a little bit lower and then come up. That's gonna look like that full deadlift. Finding that balance, coming up nice and tall. Let's go ahead and switch legs, right into it. Same thing, hinge, hinge, hinge. Palms just past the knee, not reaching, nice straight back. And then if that feels good, what I can start to do is add a little bit more of a drop at the bottom, which is just gonna give me a little bit more range of motion, and you can see me fighting and squirming around for it myself. 5 seconds, 1 or 2 more good quality reps, and rest. And remember, we really want to focus on quality, especially as we get into this last round. I like to make sure that my reps aren't throwaway movements. I'm working and addressing that skill first, and then I'm trying to extend it out as I get a little bit more tired. Because if you can play that game and get good here, you're gonna start to notice when your body breaks down when you run, and you can make the same adjustments. 2, 1, last round, here we go. Alternating those little knee lifts, pressing into the ground with your hands if you need to, making sure those hips don't shift side to side. A lot of glute stability, a lot of stability here. If that low back's a little tight, squeeze those abs. You can drop those hips just a little bit. You might be arching through that low back more than pressing through the hips, which is so key. Breathing, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for this last plank. Ready for this last plank to be over. Get ourselves into position. And let's make these the best ones yet. Nice, beautiful straight leg lift, a lot of glute activation and hamstring work. Making sure there's no shifting side to side. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Getting ourselves in position and just alternating these legs. Making sure I'm not sinking through my shoulder blades. I'm really pressing away here. Hips, in nice lion position. Halfway. Doing great, last one. Stay with me. It's like the last few miles you run. Stay with me. 5 seconds. And rest. Whew. Okay. Last single leg deadlift on the left side. Getting ourselves ready for the last one. And hey, if this doesn't feel that bad and you have a deadlift or you have a lonely dumbbell or kettlebell at home, it's a nice way to add to your deadlift, just to add a little bit of extra weight and load to it. But honestly, sometimes doing this body weight is just a great way to practice the movement
and the stability. Here we go. Let's get started. Finding that balance. Now for this last one, what I want to do is I want to try to my fingers touch the ground without my low back reaching, finding that balance. Woo, a little bit of extra movement. I like to drive this knee up tall, squeeze the butt. A little bit extra work, 5 seconds. We're doing so great, guys. And last side over here, balancing up, dropping down, fingers touch. Remember, I'm not reaching, I'm being really, really patient, dropping those hips to the ground, touch, back up tall. I'm still squeezing my shoulder blades together, resisting the urge to just bend and reach to the ground, keeping that back nice and straight. A lot of hamstrings and glutes. Last, good one, get it. Whew. Good job, guys. Nice, solid 10-minute workout. Remember, if you are signed up for the big run already, Fleet Feet's way of celebrating Global Running Day on June 7th, well, this is a great way to stay strong for it and keep you training as a runner. If you haven't signed up, click the link below this video. It's gonna take you to a site where you're gonna learn about where that local big run is relative to you. You can also do a virtual option, sign up there. Otherwise, watch this video playing over my shoulder. We get into more strength and core work. Keep the party going.